Right, guys, in the video, we're going to be going over the key differences between running an Smma in 2023 versus running an Smma 5 years ago in 2018.
Yeah.
And there's some real key differences. So Tom, take it away.
Well, do you know what the difference? So SMMA, social media marketing agency or whatever, blew up as a business model, blew up in what, 2018? Pre-pandemic.
Yeah, way before the pandemic. But it's just
maybe
like
2016, 17.
Yeah, through the pandemic, it got like super popular where,
everyone was trying to do it.
Yeah, but like, let's say 2018 is like, that's where we're going to draw the before.
Yeah, let's do that. And then, so now we're heading into 2023. It's a different world. Smma is not dead. It's not dead. That if it's done right, it's super lucrative. But it's a different world. You can't even compare. I wouldn't even watch any videos on Smma from anyone else from any dates that's not 2022 onwards.
Yeah.
I think that is like, if we never speak about that actually, but any content out there, so it's out of date.
It is. It's so out of date. And I think I think the best way to kick this off is that, and the key difference for me is 2018, you could easily run an agency where you sign a client, you get one Facebook ad up to their website, and you just charge them on repeat.
Yes.
Because that brings in sales, and you just physically can't do that now. But this being said, this isn't a negative video. 2023, in my opinion, and I think your opinion as well, is one of the best business model online to make money, to make serious money. 100%. It's the most lucrative, it's the most stable, it's the most real business model that you can take advantage of, and it's one of the most in-demand services on planet Earth for businesses.
And on the back, on the back of that one comment you've just said, the reason why Harry's saying it's such a good lucrative industry to be in is because since 2018 to where we find ourselves now, it's been done incredibly badly, and people have been let down. They've not got the service. They've been treated badly by being outsourced. Some of the work's gone abroad. No one knows what the fuck's going on. So it's left a very damaged, wounded industry. So if you're good and you take it seriously and you're really thinking about it, you actually end up just creaming the top of the crop.
Massively.
Because it's done so badly, which makes, like Harry's just said, makes it really super lucrative. It's not easy, but it's a very straightforward business model to make great money online. And even as a side hustle, anyone thinking, how can I, pay for my energy bills and my fucking car taxes going up or whatever, the model in 2023 now is very different, like we said, but super lucrative.
Massive. It's just a complete game changer, because the amount of clients that we work with and say, Tom and Harry, I'm never going to go anywhere else now because I found you. Like the fact that all of these businesses have been stung with the shit agencies from 2018, when they find someone good like us, our academy members, people that watch our content, they're just like, I'm never leaving you. I'm paying you forever because I know what the other side looks like.
Well, we never lose clients.
No. Well, we do, but not like
not through another agency sniffing.
No,
we never lose clients.
Never. But in terms of the key differences of what, why those agencies in 2018 and still agencies today, but what are those key differences?
Okay. Go on.
For me, it's, you've got to have a really, really good understanding of the digital marketing space.
Yeah.
So it's so much more than just saying, right, Tim, the client, I'm going to get an ad up to your website and we're going to get sales. It's so much more than that. When you work with a lot of these businesses, you're going to have to understand the space so much. You're going to have to understand, what content they need to be producing, how they talk to their audience. You need to understand, right, is that priced in the correct way? What products do we need to fit in between the products they've got already to change their value ladder? Like, there's so much more, isn't there? There is so much more to it.
I think what we need to highlight is the amount of ads that are being run in 2018 versus the amount of ads that you're now exposed to in 2023 coming up. It's vastly different in terms of the amount. One in every 3 stories is an advert, is an ad now through Instagram or Facebook. Okay. So it's not so much saturation. It's like I think the amount you're exposed to has increased. Okay. Because so many people want to advertise on the platform that they're having to now up the amount of ads you see as a consumer without sacrificing your enjoyment on the platform. So the amount of frequency has changed in the last 4 years, nearly 5 years, it's changed. What that has meant then is people are seeing ads a lot in 2023. Will be. There's a lot of ads they're going to be seeing that are all the same ads, but from different people. So when you click on one ad for like a really cool shoe brand that you've never heard of before, and the shoes look sick, yeah, you're then hitting the pixel data, and you're going to be seeing variations of that product consistently for a good month. Okay, that means the quality of ads has dramatically changed. So back in 2018, you could probably, like Harry said, like run one ad set, one creative, buy now with an offer, get a discount code and all that shit. Okay. Or even like submit your details, buy one, get one free on massages, whatever it will be, lead gen. These days you can still do that stuff, but the quality of the actual ad creative is now so important. It's really changed, which puts more demand on your client because they have to provide you with content that is really good. And if they don't have it, they are at a significant disadvantage to those who do. So I would say massive difference in Smma is the quality of ads. It's always ask yourself, is this ad I'm creating for a golf club or for a restaurant, dentist, kitchen fitter, e-com brand? Is the ad better than the competition?
Yeah.
Whereas before it wasn't as important because the frequency of how many ads they were seeing was less.
Well, leading on from that, mate, Gary Vee did a conference, I think about 2 weeks ago, and he spoke about ad creatives and content on social media. And what he said, and I thoroughly agree with this, and it backs up what you've just said there, is back in 2018 or 2-3 years ago, pre iOS 14, you could lead with the algorithm. So it was the success of your marketing campaigns was based on the algorithm, the mathematical formulas that pushed content in a particular way to interests. Yeah. However, now it's flipped, and then the content and the creative was secondary. Whereas now you have to lead with the content, and then the algorithm and the mathematical formulas pick up on the back end. So if you've not got your content and you're not speaking to your audience in the correct way, it doesn't matter if you've got your strategy in place. The content, you have to lead with content, and content is 100% key with every marketing campaign that you do.
Yeah.
So that completely backs up what you've said there.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the other,
and a lot of beginners, they often say, well, how do I even make an ad? And that's very beginner, like, how do I go about creating the ad? But it is kind of up to you to work with the client to say, right, we need this ad from you. We need you to make this TikTok. And we've done it. We've gone in and actually helped them, the people that live near us, the clients that live near us.
Yeah, traveled to see them and do it.
Like it is your responsibility to help guide them through what content you need. Give them scripts. If you need a YouTube video, give them scripts of what you need.
Yeah.
That's so crucial.
It's really, really crucial. And I think that's a good starting point is the creative. I think if we just take the second stage of this, is the difference between 2018 and 2023 is targeting. So in 2021 or 2020, I think it might have been, those who don't know, the Apple update, iOS 14, Apple did a new update, and Apple then, who are, conglomerate of a business, as we all know, they were asking their users, would you like us to track your behavior or not for tailored ads, basically, okay, or for data protection? It's really a data thing. Would you allow us to track? Now, Facebook had a huge problem with this, and you've done videos. There's a video on our YouTube, which Harry did many years ago, that explains this better than I'm going to be able to explain it. But they were asking consumers, are you okay with us tracking your data? Which Facebook were pissed off about, because it's giving people the chance to opt out and say, no, I'm not. So therefore, you're not going to get tailored ads. We can't track them online. We don't know if they've been to your website. We don't know if they've hit your funnel. It's a shit show. Now, that is probably, along with the quality and the frequency of ads, this is the biggest thing that's had the biggest impact, is the fact that Facebook now, so Apple went ahead with their update. People did. Some people opted out of being tracked. Some people allowed, but it probably halved at least the amount of tracking that we can now do. And that, therefore, if you can't track people online, how can you target them online? So a big problem was in about 2020, there was a turn. And whereas we could target income of what people earned, we could target them based on if they had a family. We could target them based on, did they like skin products or particular skin products, not even skin products, like actually nail it down to a particular skin product. For example, now they've removed hundreds of thousands of interests, literally hundreds of thousands, because they can't find the small interests anymore because they're not as apparent. We're not tracking people as much. So to cut to my point is, we can't track in 2023. We just can't track people really effectively. I think it's dog shit. I think Facebook Meta should be ashamed of themselves for not having a plan B. But we find ourselves where we are, and everyone's in the same boat. Also, then it comes down to the interest. Can't track them, and therefore we can't target them with the nitty gritty, the real in-depth ones. And it has made the industry now much harder, which is why, just going on to this point, and people won't understand this because this is a bit high level, which is why YouTube platforms and TikTok platforms are actually better to target, because they're targeted on behavior online, not what you're shopping online. And that's really, really high level. But if someone is, say you're working with a DIY brand, let's say they sell drills and hammers and saws, and they're like a man's man DIY brand, and you're doing an e-com. If you were to do YouTube and TikTok ads, you'll be able to target better, because everyone who types in how to build an extension, how to hang a picture on the wall, how to make so-and-so out of wood, or how to build a fire pit, anything, your ad can show in front of it because it's relevant to what they are searching. So it's done on behavioral based, not interest based. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think that a prime example in terms of the Facebook side of things is dentistry. So in 2018, well, actually up until a year ago, you could target implants, you could target Invisalign, you could target clear braces, you could target teeth whitening, all of those things as individual interests. So if you were running an Invisalign campaign or an implant campaign, you could just target that in that particular interest. However, now the only interest you've got really for dentists are dentist or dental or tooth or things like that, which are really general.
Yes.
So 2018, if you were advertising implants, you'd just be competing against the other people targeting implants that sell implants. However, now your implant ads are now competing against Invisalign ads, teeth whitening ads, general dentistry brand awareness ads, because they're all under the same interest pot. Which is why, and people might thinking, oh, well, fucking hell, I'm not going to get a dental client now. I'm not going to do any like Facebook ads. No, because what's actually happened is, now that the focus has now gone into the creative, like we just mentioned, and if you understand marketing, and in that iOS 14 video 2 years ago, I said that the short term, this is bad. Long term, it's great, because if you understand marketing and you understand how to position your product across creative, then you're gonna succeed. Which is why when those targeting options changed to those general ones for our dental clients, our cost per lead actually decreased by like 300%. So we're actually getting a better cost per lead with worse targeting options, because our efforts have now gone into the creative, which is what you're going to have to do.
Yeah, which sounds, I don't want people listening to this thinking, God, this all sounds really complicated. It's not. It's really obvious. If we were to lay it out on paper and show you, you'd be like, oh, no, I get it. And actually, as a consumer, those listening to us, you're on Instagram and you're on Facebook and you're on YouTube all the time. Take a note of it, and take a note of the type of ads you're seeing, like Harry does, I do. But you'll notice what we're on about. Now we talk about, you'll notice, click on a few landing pages and benchmark landing pages in your head. But you'll know what we mean. It's really obvious when you lay it out on paper.
Yeah, and don't get disheartened by it, because this has happened before. Like all of these big changes have been
Yeah,
happening since 2018. Like I think
yeah,
in 2019, they removed the targeting option of being able to target people that earned a specific income. Like you
yeah,
used to in 2018, 2019, you used to be able to target people that earned 50 grand plus for your high ticket your high ticket clients. When that got removed, I was like, fucking hell, this is going to be the end. I'm never going to be able to sell high ticket products again. But then you move on and you figure it out. Like when you're
yeah,
going into this business model, and this is why it's so important to stay up to date with the trends and what's happening, like it's just another change that you have to deal with. Like
yeah.
eventually Facebook and Instagram probably won't exist in 10, 15 years time. There'll
It
be new platforms.
there will be new platforms, but they'll be owned by Meta, because I can imagine, because Meta and Google and Apple
Yeah.
still will have a monopoly over the next 10 to 15 years. Obviously, but you never know what's around the corner. Like TikTok hits and blows up. But you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything is always evolving and changing. Um, yeah, I'm quite scared. You know, also that you do. Actually, no, this is probably for a different chat. But you often see ads for people promoting a product that can give you a better, like a tool for measuring your ads.
Yeah.
That's a dog shit. I'm sorry.
You
If
don't,
that
you
was a
just
thing,
don't.
then Facebook would be rolling it out, because they've got such an issue with targeting and
Exactly.
with tracking. And you get these ads of people like, hey, track your ads to a by another 20% conversion and ROAS on this and that. Get this, and you can track your ads. I'm sorry, Meta would be offering that as standard, because they can't fucking track it themselves.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah,
I think what one
they're not
one
reinventing the wheel.
No, I think one final point from me in terms of how different your marketing strategy needs to be in 2023 in comparison to 2018 is the importance of owning your own data. Like this is only a problem. All of these changes is only
Yeah,
a problem if you're relying solely on your cold traffic. If you're
yeah,
relying 100% of your sales on targeting implants or Invisalign or fencing or car dealerships as an interest pot from Facebook, then it's going to be a problem.
yeah.
However, if you've got an email list of 200,000 people and you're using these platforms to grow that email list through a lead magnet, or you're growing your following to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and no matter what industry you're in, or 30,000 followers on Instagram, then you're not going to have to rely on this cold traffic, because you've got an email list you can do lookalike audiences on. You've got existing traffic pots. You've got an existing audience you can push your
Yeah.
marketing to. Like that's so you need to make sure there's a segment of your marketing strategy that's building those digital assets for you and your clients.
And I think that's a really good point. Is in 2023 versus 2018, you have to have ultimate care for your client in 2023 for their assets, their email lists, their business manager, their TikTok business manager. Everything is there. You only have access to it temporarily if you're working with them, or hopefully long term, but they give you access to everything they have. There shouldn't be a Facebook or Instagram page that isn't created by a member of staff within that business. As an example, 2018, people were creating Facebook pages for their clients, doing it all under their BM, paying for the ad spend themselves and billing it back, blah, 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 load of total shit. And also, the other thing we touch on as a big difference between 2018 onwards, Smma, and what's coming up next year is the outsourcing side of it is dead. And people need to listen to this. And if you're getting into this space and people are saying, yeah, outsource the work, you win a client, where do the fulfillment. No, that's dead. It's gone. You have to take, as the client has to take ownership of their assets, you have to take ownership of your fulfillment. If you haven't got time to do the fulfillment, you shouldn't be doing the job.
Do you know what annoys me, mate? That when you actually look into these people that are vouching for outsourced agencies, they don't even have outsourced agencies themselves. I saw someone, one of the biggest people, I'm not going to mention his name, he really vouches for outsourcing the work for his agency. And then 2 weeks ago, he did a YouTube video showcasing his office, and he had 30 in-house employees.
Yeah.
That's not outsourcing your work. Like,
no,
if someone can put in the comments below of someone that owns a successful marketing agency that's doing 50, I'd say 30 or 50,000 pound a month in profit, that outsources all of their service delivery to India, please comment, because I will be absolutely baffled if someone can, because it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It's physically impossible.
I think that is a big thing and for those, if you're listening again, and you're like, well, what is outsourcing? What are they on about? What we're talking about is when you win a client and then there's other people in the industry who actually will do the work for you. So for a fee. So let's say you win a client at $1,000 a month. You will probably arrange a fee where they get 40%. Okay. So they'll take $400 and you keep $600 and you don't do any of the work. It sounds fucking good, doesn't it? Like, it sounds so good. I would like 20 of those, please. However, how do you know that the person you're giving the work to, and normally, and this is no disrespect, but normally they're in like
A developing country.
in developing countries, yeah, which is, and I've worked in developing countries, and it's phenomenally good how efficient these people in those countries are, way more than in Europe. However, what the point I'm trying to stress is, you're winning a client and you're building trust with your client. Let's say her name is Jane. You've won Jane. Jane needs help with her business. She wants to run ads on Instagram for a fucking really great e-com brand that she's got that no one else sells. It's a one of a kind. She sells candles. They smell like heaven. Okay. And you can eat them and they're whatever, whatever it is. Great. You've got a really good relationship with Jane. Jane has put her faith in you and your agency, and you fuck it over to India and let some other guy or girl run the ads for you. How do you know she's done it before? And I'm sure she's given you case studies, and I work with this brand and I grew up ROAS by this and that. You don't know. Fundamentally, you actually don't know. You're taking a leap of faith in a complete stranger. Therefore, actually, you're taking a leap. You're playing with fire with your agency. So if you give the work to someone now in 2023 who's in India or Pakistan or developing countries, whatever it is, which is where it tends to go, then you are absolutely at risk because you don't know the quality of work. And then communication, you're managing two people, then not just one. You're managing Jane and you're managing the person on a time difference. And it's probably, you won't get them on the phone. It will be done on a fucking stupid little Slack channel, Google Slack channels. I'm not talking about it now, but you're then having to do that. Then if they're not getting results and your client Jane is saying, oh, Tom, what's going on? I'll just speak to my team. They pass it off that it's their team and, and that they work for them. No, you're having to get on the phone or email, wait for an email response of someone in a different country about a client that's actually yours. So for those who don't understand it, that is what outsourcing is. All for just $400 that you're saving. Like, take the full fee. If you win Jane at $1,000, take Jane on at $1,000 and take full responsibility. Yeah, but Tom, how do I scale my agency to 20K like blah, blah, blah said? You should be doing that in 30 days. No. How about we just make $5,000 a month online, and then step by step, don't be such a greedy fucker and be in such a rush to make 20K a month. Just learn your trade, become the best at your trade, make $5,000 a month online, which is so easy. It's so easy to do.
It is.
And it's actually really easy to make $10,000 a month online through social media marketing, keeping it all in-house. There's no harm in like what me and Harry did, where I actually teamed up with someone. Well, that someone was Harry. Well, I teamed up with Harry and was like, look, man, I've won a client. It's an e-com brand. I'm a little bit out of my depth on a couple of things. Fancy going 50-50 and we manage it together. Harry lived 2 hours away from me. I didn't need to meet him in person, but we spoke online, and me and him teamed up and we were talking every day and we smashed it. But that's what outsourcing is basically giving it out to someone else, but kind of fronting it up with Jane and being okay with it. That has died. It's dead. And I fully, and you support this, we do not buy the shit where people are saying, oh, do it, otherwise you can't scale. You can't scale. No. You can't scale.
And we're not saying just take your agency to $5,000 then stop. Get to $5,000 in-house, then employ someone on a contract basis to work with you.
Yeah, or a freelancer
in your team,
or a freelancer who you can trust and that you've interviewed and that you've seen the catalog of work. Just you want them at your disposal like that, and you want them to be with you on the journey and not just money grabbing.
Yeah, because if Jane rings you, like you say, Jane rings you tomorrow saying, Tom, Harry, what's happening with the ads? I spent $2,000. I've got no sales, and your immediate answer is, well, I'm not managing it. I'll get back to you. And she's like, Tom and Harry, I've just paid you $2,000. $2,000 down the drain, and you can't give me an instant answer on what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking carrying on with you. Like, I could
Yeah.
wait, you could wait another week, tell me what's wrong. Like, she's just like, no, I'm not doing that. That's wasting money.
I have a friend
Where,
of mine, real quick. I have a friend of mine who, me and him were in the same mentorship program, Smma, bought a course. And me and him actually reached out to each other privately and started building a friendship. He won a client in Canada and he didn't know how to do some of the work. So he then outsourced the work to somebody else. And he was in a Slack, what's called a Slack channel. So let's call him John. John and the client were in a Slack channel talking about the what the client wants and blah, blah, blah. He then added the outsourced person into the Slack channel. Okay. And the client very quickly realized that John and the person he's outsourced to don't know each other. Because John had actually written in the Slack channel, "Hi, Ishmael," let's say his name's Ishmael. "Hi, Ishmael. Nice to meet you, mate." Not thinking the client could read it because it was before they added the client in. They added the client in, and actually on Slack, here's a little note, here's a little disclaimer for you. If you're already having a conversation between 2 or 3 of you in a Slack channel, and you put your client in that Slack channel, they can read all previous messages. Okay, massive tip for people who are thinking about this. They can read every message all the way from the beginning of that group. So if you're talking, saying, "Hi, Ishmael, nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for helping me with this project. The client needs this and that." The client can read that, and the person did. She read it and went, "Do you not know Ishmael?" And he went, "Oh, no, he's part of. I'm just using it." It failed instantly. That he lost all credibility with the client. But there's a little tip for you.
Yeah, well, I think that's a perfect way to end, mate. That speaks for itself.
But yeah, in terms, let's wrap it up. But like 2018 to 2023, vast differences. I actually think it's with all the people who have fallen on the sword over the last 3 years, and people who have tried agencies and failed and now have completely given up and gone, "No, it's dead. It's dead. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's all fucked." It's not. Otherwise, me and you wouldn't be making the money we make.
No, there's just a new way. There's a new way that you need to learn.
Modern way. It's a better way, I think.
It's a way that it's now you can keep your clients for 2 years.
Yeah,
whereas before you'll keep them for 3 months and you have to find new ones. But if you follow this new blueprint, you get 10 clients to pay you £1,000 each a month. You'll keep that £10,000 a month in revenue for a lot longer. Whereas in 2018, if you follow that old method, outsourcing, shit communication, shit care for your clients, you'll just keep them for 3 months and then you'll have to find new ones.
Yeah. It's dead, but the new beginning is the new SMMA is picking up for 2023. We teach 100%. it. We show you how and why, and you'll get enough from our content anyway, won't you? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the perfect way to. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that, guys, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.